At the end of every month, I do a quick review. I am always looking for patterns and things I specifically would like to change for the next month, looking for better performance. Or sometimes more even. Sometimes I get a little lopsided in my focus, a little too much fun, or for me, more likely, a little bit too much work. So this month, I actually chose a different question, one I've never asked myself before. Now, let me back up for just a second. If you've hung around me for a while, you've heard me talk about the two questions that I think are the most powerful review questions. What specifically did we do to create our wins? And what specifically do we want to change moving forward, given what we have learned and what has happened in the immediate past? These are really solid questions, and I use them without fail at the end of every quarter and the end of the year. What I find for my monthly reviews is that frequently I like to mix up my questions. Honestly, when I ask myself a different question, I open myself up to different perspectives and I learn different things. So this month, I asked myself the question, what has been my distractions? And specifically, I was looking for things that are lesser goals. I don't know about you. I have my top 2 to 3 goals for the month. These are the things that I'm really focused on. And then there tend to be other things that are either habit goals or something that is not in that priority list, but it's lingering in my mind. I would call, in this case, frequently those of lesser goals. So I was looking for what has distracted me. What felt at the time like I was really accomplishing something, and yet it did not move me closer to really my priority for this past month. Yes, I found one pretty quickly. I have a habit of falling into the goal of getting caught up. Yeah, I know. It doesn't even entirely make sense. I know logically that I'm likely to never be caught up because as soon as I finish something, I get another new idea. And there are some things, whether they're laundry or dishes or social media or weekly emails to our email list, that are habit goals. There's not such a thing as we're going to do it once and it's done. So getting caught up for me is a lesser goal and a distraction. How does that work for me? When I start getting into the mode of getting caught up, I'm not making decisions based on my highest priorities and doing the things with the most leverage. I'm looking for this elusive getting caught up, which I know will never happen. So how about you? If you really consider this past month and you look at really what are your top priorities, what were your top priorities for this past month? And how did you do? How did things go? And then what were your distractions? What were the lesser goals? In that moment to moment during the day when we're deciding what to focus on and what to do, what are those things that crept in that may be a goal, but they're not as important as our priorities, and yet they serve as a distraction? It's a great question. It doesn't take long to kind of go through it, and that's part of the power in particular at a monthly review is we're looking for something quick. I don't know. I spent maybe 10, 15 minutes looking at my goals, looking at what I really did, and it became very clear very quickly. So be aware of lesser goals that take our attention off from what we have said our priorities are. And again, remember, our results demonstrate our commitments. It is not unusual that what we say we're committed to is not showing up in our results. And if that is true, we need to really go back because our results are demonstrating our true commitment. So what were your distractions this last month? And your lesser goals? It's a great question. Here's to a great ending to the last month and that the priorities for this month are set and we are all focused.